Well, it's football fever in India. The Indian women's football team began their campaign in the AFC Asian Cup in Navi Mumbai last night, playing out a goalless draw against Iraq in their opening encounter. The 12-team tournament is a qualifier for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup, which will be held in Australia and New Zealand. Keeping a close watch on the tournament are India's counterparts from down under. Joining me today, our very special guest from Australia is Leah Blayney, a former Matilda and now a coach. Also joining me is Sarah Walsh, Football Australia's head of women's football. So let's hear it out from the ladies.
In terms of transitioning from player to coach, that's something that in Australia at the moment, there's been some really good work by our PFA, Professional Football Association, to ensure that players who become coaches receive that off-field management and support, whether it be through different licensing systems, so education, as well as a lot around leadership. Myself being a former player, and now being a coach, they're two very different things at times. So Australia's investing in bridging that gap between. Naturally, we have a never say die attitude, which our Matildas encompasses quite often. So I think that's pretty ingrained in a lot of Aussie kids. I believe that in our country, there's opportunity to play multiple sports. So you mentioned cricket, there's soccer, there's AFL, there's a range of sports, whereas typically in other cultures it might be that they just focus on one sport. And I use England as an example. You probably grow up playing football, there's a good chance, or cricket. So we're very excited about the tournament. We obviously set a high benchmark for our girls, and we're hopefully looking to lift the trophy.
What a massive opportunity the Women's World Cup in 2023 presents Australia. I think if I could use one word, it's probably, unity. And, we have this amazing opportunity to be able to leverage what has unified the game on a very singular vision around developing the game for women and girls here in Australia. One of the biggest sporting events in the world, not just biggest female sporting event. So all eyes will be on Australia and New Zealand. And we have a massive opportunity to what we're saying is get our community clubs World Cup ready. And we actually are having these conversations with the government now. I think we're definitely positioning this event as one of the biggest events to happen since Sydney 2000. And so that, there are a lot of learnings, particularly for the Queensland Government, like you said, around how we start to put foundations in place for 2032. And so there's a lot of learnings, particularly from, previous World Cups. Cricket just had a World Cup here. I work quite closely with Cricket Australia.
They're another country that has different strengths and weaknesses in the football landscape. The fact that this tournament is going to be held in India is going to be enormous, obviously, for the country. And in terms of the development of the game, we mentioned participation and those sort of things earlier. So the impact that the tournament will have, you will see for future generations.
I think I might just quickly add to that. I haven't seen much of the team in terms of performance, but I have to say I very much love to see them be successful. I think commercially they bring a lot to a World Cup. So I'll just leave that there. But I'm definitely backing India to do well.